you guys, my name is Abby and we're gonna do a girl chat sit down 6-month postpartum update. Let's dive in. Starting off with one of our most asked questions, how are you doing processing your birth? I do feel like at this point, I feel so at peace with what happened and I feel like I've processed it well and I don't look back with like any bitterness or anger and I don't look forward with any fear. If you're not familiar with our birth story, I'll tag the video here, and then also we were on the Unplanned podcast with my brother and sister-in-law Matt and Abby and got to share the whole story there too. But long story short, pushed for 3.5 hours, had to go to a C-section, ended up hemorrhaging, losing a ton of blood. CJ went to the NICU. The whole thing was like pretty just traumatic in different ways. And I feel like afterwards, I really did wrestle with sadness and anger. 1, with my body, and 2, with God. The best thing that I could have done and that I did do was just talking about it with people and even sharing about birth on like a grand scale with you guys. I felt so alone in so many things. Getting to share with the world and you guys messaging me and telling me I went through something similar, you're not alone. Just understanding there are other people out there that are feeling similar things and have similar thoughts is actually really, really comforting. I think afterwards too, I wrestled a lot with like doubts with God and anger. I think it's really important, obviously, that we understand that like our feelings are very valid, but the goal ultimately is not to like sit in our anger and bitterness and sadness and fear for a long time. Feel it, process it, and then let's move forward. And I had to wrestle through a lot with like my girlfriends of just share out loud like doubts that I was having. Ultimately, I serve a very powerful and wonderful and compassionate and loving Father, and he sees every single thing that happens in our life, right? And in my life. And ultimately, his view of my life is like this, okay? He sees everything, past, present, and future. I only see this. I could struggle with that, with like, God, I don't see the purpose of this. I don't see how you could let this happen. I don't see the why, but he sees this. And like, he's saying, hey, in the future, you're gonna understand why. You're gonna know why. And just having friends like comfort me and put me back to truth was really healing. And I also read the book of Job, which is also very healing. So I hope that was a long answer. I feel like it's gonna be a long answer, but yeah, it was a lot to process through these last couple months. I feel like 4 months postpartum was when I was really like, okay, I'm at peace with this. It might take you longer. It might not take you as long as 4 months. I don't know. I think we all are like on our own path with that, and how we process things is very different person to person. Give yourself grace and time, but also just don't let yourself sit alone with feelings that are really hard to sit with alone. Don't carry that burden alone. Share them with people and share the burdens with others, because you'll feel so much lighter. When did you start to feel better after birth? Once I started to work out, so at the 6-week checkpoint, I was very upfront with my doctor, and she was like, I was like asking her about exercise and working out, and she's like, well, just ease into it. And I said, please do not say that to me. What does that mean? I said, if I was to go out and deadlift tomorrow, okay, I haven't been lifting my weights. If I was to deadlift tomorrow, would I pull my scar open? Would I injure my my stomach in any way? And she said, no. You are healed. It's just a matter of you don't have any muscle left. So I took that as my like, okay, I can go and I can push myself. When I tell you I felt 1,000,000% better, it was unreal. It's like my body had just been sitting and like getting stiff and creaky for 2 months. And now it's time to like start, putting oil in the joints and moving things. And I would say after about like 3 weeks to a month of easing back into working out, I felt incredible. So if that's any encouragement to just get out and get moving, your body will be so thankful. And I think it helped my healing progress at a much quicker rate. How is your C-section scar? Do you see any progress in the healing? Do you have any remaining pain or discomfort in the incision? Yes to all 3 of those. I would say my C-section scar has been recovering well. I definitely still have pain, not pain, but it's like tender if CJ is like on my lap and he's standing on it, or if I press on it. I don't feel any more pain or discomfort when I work out with it. I don't feel like any more tugging or pulling at this point. This is crazy, and I didn't know this. I was actually totally numb from like my belly button down to the incision area. Like Caleb, I would close my eyes and I would be like, he'd be like, tell me when you think I'm touching you. He'd be pinching my belly as hard as he could, and I wouldn't even know he was touching me. There's no feeling down there. That is starting to come back. Definitely there's still a shelf there, and I think there always will be, and I've kind of gotten over that. I'm like, whatever. So that will always be there. Did you experience postpartum hair loss? I honestly thought that I like missed that bullet. I was like, I haven't lost my hair. I haven't had a shed. I'm doing so good, because I kind of thought that happened around 4 months. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has started hitting me within the last like 2 weeks. So up here, it's not terrible yet, but I've definitely, this has like been thinning. And I feel like this is where I hear most women experience it. So yeah, just my hairline a little bit. It's not anything dramatic yet, but it's still in the process of falling out. So we'll see. What's your postpartum period like? Okay, I've officially now had 2 full-on periods. Okay, the cramps, I never had cramps before CJ. I haven't had cramps now, so I feel like that's been the same for me, which I'm thankful for. But I will say the flow is way heavier. It's shocking. Okay, before my periods, I'd maybe use a regular tampon and a light tampon, regular at max. Now it's like if I'm not using a super, my pants will be ruined. How's your core? I'm still 5 months postpartum and feel weak. Oh, my core is definitely still weak. I feel like doing legs and these other types of exercises have helped strengthen like my overall core, like my back and lower back and, you know, all of the areas. But like specifically doing core exercises, we're still getting there. So don't feel alone in that. How do you feel about your breastfeeding journey this far? I'm so happy to report that it has been going well. I think at first it was really hard getting used to like the schedule of it. And just like the commitment is a lot. And I wouldn't be honest if I said I can't wait for it to be over. I know some women love nursing their babies and I don't hate it. And I also don't love it. I'm just like in the middle. I'm very thankful that we can do it and I want to do it with all my babies. But I'm also like, okay, when we can start weaning, that'll be a great time of my life. More just for selfish reasons, and I think that's okay. Like, I want to share the mental capacity of feeding our baby with me and Caleb and not take the mental weight of that all on my own. That will be great. But until that day, we're gonna keep going at it. It's been great. Are you still using a nipple shield and has it affected your supply? So we've been using a nipple shield from pretty much day 2. And I will continue using it forever. Anatomically, I need one. It hasn't affected my supply at all. I've had a very healthy supply. So it's been great. I'm sure people in the comments will come through with their issues with them, but it's been one of the biggest gifts and blessings in our breastfeeding journey. And it's the only reason CJ has been able to, and we haven't had to go to formula. So if you guys are having trouble, why not try it out? Did you deal with postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety at all, and how have you been feeling emotionally? Pretty sure I might have touched on this in a past video, but I really didn't experience any postpartum depression or anxiety, which I am very thankful for. I feel like emotionally and mentally I've been really good. I will say that pre-baby, I feel like I've always fallen on the line of this emotionally. Like, I don't have a lot of highs or lows. I'm pretty like flatline when it comes to my emotions, and I'm a pretty chill personality person. So I don't know if maybe that just kind of has like aided in that, like my natural bend isn't emotional. And I will also say this, because I do think this plays a big part in it. CJ is not a very loud crying baby. He's a very calm baby. He sleeps good, so we're not having long sleepless nights, and he's eating well. And I feel like if any of those 3 factors were different, my attitude and my response might be different. How do you feel about postpartum weight loss, and how has that been for you? Okay, a lot of people don't talk about this, and I understand why. It's very sensitive. A lot of people compare. To be so honest, have not really worried about the weight. And yeah, I check myself on a scale every once in a while. I think it's okay to have like check-ins with yourself and desire to feel like how you did before baby. I don't think that's a bad thing, and I definitely desire that, but I also haven't really been super focused on my weight loss. I think I've had so much fun in the gym, and this is why I want to share it, because I think people see me working out and they're like comparing themselves to that. To be so honest, you guys, I think it's okay to share this. I still have like 10 or 15 pounds to go before I'm back to my postpartum weight. Having so much fun gaining muscle and having strength and just moving my body in new ways. It's been so fun. Diet wise, I haven't changed anything, and I probably won't until I'm done nursing, because I'm scared that it would affect my supply. So I'm just like along for the ride. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to hit a number. I would say pay more attention to like how you feel and your strength, because I feel so good. I don't know, I say that more so with encouragement, not to like compare or make anyone feel bad. Do you feel like you and Caleb are back to your pre-baby relationship dynamic now? Caleb and I were just talking about this. After baby, I feel like there was a learning curve where we just both had very new and different roles and responsibilities, and that's hard. In our capacities now, the call was at a much higher call, but we were still used to, like, you know, maxing out at this capacity, and now we both need to be here. And there was a couple months where I feel like it took time for our energy levels and our expectations to meet what our new roles demanded from us. And obviously in that time, it required a lot of communication and a lot of patience with each other. It's like a lot to balance, and like your energy levels need to catch up. So just be super, super patient with your spouse because it takes time. But I feel like we've gotten there. I would say it probably took like 4 months. I'll end on this question. What has been your favorite stage with CJ so far? I will totally say I feel like every stage has been so fun and so different than the next. Like, I actually really enjoyed the little newborn, like sleepy baby stage. Again, CJ was a very quiet newborn, so I loved it. But I am having so much fun at this 5 month, 6 month age, to the point now where I'm like, oh, I miss CJ when he's sleeping. Like, I can't wait for him to wake up and to play with him. Necessarily before, I didn't always feel like that, and I don't feel bad saying that. I think a lot of people feel that way. Not that I dreaded him waking up, but it's just now I look forward to it, and I get so excited to see him because he's just so fun right now, and I feel like it's been awesome. So I really love this 5 to 6 month age. It's been so cool. I hit all the big questions that you guys had. Thank you for asking these. I hope this was helpful for you in some ways. I hope it was encouraging to you in some ways. I hope that you could relate to this in other ways. And yeah, thank you guys for asking and following along on this journey with us as we are navigating parenthood and baby and pregnancy and body changes all for the first time. I'm not an expert, it's just my experience. I feel a lot of responsibility to be vulnerable and real with y'all, but also in a way that protects like my family and our personal lives. So I feel like we're doing a good job so far navigating that, and it's been a joy. So thank you guys. Do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you in the next video.